If you are following tutorial about ball games, here is second part. So let's start. In previous video and lesson we create one 2D scene with rigid body, static body and some subnodes or child nodes. Rigid body have icon, collision shape, label, camera, and static body, collision shape and sprite. We use static body as some, let me say, ground, and rigid body as ball. So if you start this scene, you can move object with mouse click, as you see here. Object moves towards direction if you click in one direction and other direction. Whichever direction you click, object will move. So up, down, left, right. Also I put some data on label just to show you information about position and direction. Okay, now I made a few changes here. You can do it too. You can, for this example of course, delete camera node. Also in a static body I put another collision shape with new line shape, and this line can be used only as some grid element here. As you see, if I move object, here I have only one grid to stop object out of some game space. If you don't use camera, this is one of options. Of course you can use camera and grid space together. Now we can change also a few things here with our collision shape. Our collision shape is circular and image is not circular. So if you have any image of a balloon or a ball, just change it. If you don't have, make some changes to your collision shape. Now this looks something like this. Okay, let me show you a few interesting things for implementation in some kind of ball game. Static body have constant linear velocity, as many of you know, but beginners don't know. So you can experiment with this. I suggest you to use vertical linear velocity with minus variable, because our static body have this x-axis position. And what will we get? We will get some kind of vertical bumping. And now with next part of change, let me show you what you need to do. To see Some other good effect for your ball game. You need to make few changes. One of first important changes is to change icon. So find some kind of icon if you didn't do it before. To change it, just go to your sprite, texture, and load other image. If you are beginner and if you don't know how to do it, you need to put image in your resource folder. Your resource folder is part of your project, and the project and your place of project in your memory system can be seen in your project list. So if you go to project list, you can see it and add it. And let me show you. So if you go to project list, you will see where, for example, this is Sancho's ball, and this project is on some hard memory store in some address. So when you put your image in this place with any kind of directory browser or similar program, you can put your image there. And after that you will have image as part of rigid body, because this image will be put inside as texture of your sprite. I need to change this to show you next effect. So let's see it. Now we have ball and we have bumping, but this bumping has some kind of real feeling when some ball with any kind of elastic capabilities fall down to some ground. This means we need to work with vertical velocity, and for that you need coding. I will show you. We have one already defined value. We need to create one function signal on a rigid body entered. For this you need to use a rigid body and the node with signaling. Go to body enter signal and connect it. This is first part. After that, for rigid body, don't forget to use contact monitor. Contact monitor enable you to monitoring any contact of this body with some other bodies, like our static body. So set it on, and contacts reported needs to be higher than 0. If you want 1, put it 1, and that's it. I put it 3, so whatever. And let's back to coding. So you will have this function. This is important thing. After that, you will need to put some lines of code. Maybe 2 or 3 lines. So we will set one condition, if, then we will use our static body, get constant linear velocity. This is data about linear velocity. So every static body have constant linear velocity for x and epsilon axis, and we go toward it with this method, get constant linear velocity. We will only use epsilon data, and if is lower than 0 we will increase this value. Because I set default value with -90, as you see here, also already variable is set here, but this is not important, and I will set -90 for you to better understand it. And here this value -90 is increased till condition can work. So if epsilon is lower than 0, so you will have value -90 lower than 0, +9 81, -81 lower than 0, etc., etc. But when value is higher than 0, this will not work. And what will happen? Value of the epsilon will change. If you see in this example, we have higher bumps in beginning because constant velocity is higher than lower, lower, lower. As you see here in output, we slowly lowering, and because distance is changing, this lowering increased, and you have some effect of elasticity of the ball. You can experiment with this, you can change some data. I like to make it real like this, so ball didn't jump too much. Something like this, maybe a little more, but it's okay. Okay, this is it for this effect. And for finishing of this second part of tutorial, I will go back to our game, Sancho's ball. As you see here, ball can move in a direction of mouse click and have some kind of obstacles. To make this, you only need to use rigid body. With rigid body 2D, you have every possibilities of rigid body. So in inspector properties of every rigid body, you have many properties you can set to work with this, or if you use default values, you will also have effects when one ball collide with other. You will have movement, etc. This is not so complicated, and you can do it alone. Just add new node element rigid body, create collision shape like explained in previous videos, add some sprite with ball, and then if you click with the mouse, your movement with one ball object will influence other object, and that object will move. If object is down, he will move. If object is somewhere up, also you will have some movement. This is default movements of rigid body, and all of that movement are predefined with rigid body 2D node element. Thank you for watching. This is end of the second part of this ball games tutorial, and we can see each other in some other kinds of tutorial in future. I wish you all the well and good health and immunity in days which come. It is good for you to be on a good, strong and cold air, on sun, expose yourself to morning and evening sun. Also try to drink good and quality water. This will help your immunity in the days which come. So I wish you all the best, as I said before, and see you next time. Bye bye.